Toyota? What?
Yoda.
No, Diona, as in from Cobra Kai.
No.
Yes.
Cobra Kai?
Yes.
Strike hard.
Strike first.
Fear is the path to the Grover.
Oh my
You very well are on your way to Grover territory.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Bobo, you are first. Congratulations.
Well, no, because I'm not caring
It's-
about that.
Definitely Super Grover.
No, that's almost Miss Piggy there.
That is almost Miss Piggy.
Come on, Frank Oz.
I mean, I can try to do it. I just think you have a better quality to your Yoda than
I was
mine.
gonna say, if you do it, Francisco, I think I'm gonna cringe just a little bit.
Well, that's fine. You cringe all you want. But here's how it sounds for me.
Oh no.
Let's see. Oh, I ring pause for it. Stay and help you, I will. Find your friend.
Stay.
Well, are you going to do the look part or not? I thought we were like trying opposite.
Stay and help you, I will.
Hey, Ken,
Find
you
your
are not
friend?
first. Though it gave you the first thing. I'm not sure what happened.
Ooh, podcast. Yeah.
Oh man, I almost want to record this later, but
Okay,
we'll see what happens.
let's record it later. That's fine. We could.
No,
do
I
it.
was going to say let's record it now, and then if I can do a backup later, I can send that to you.
Okay,
later.
that's perfect. Rigged. You did it before Stream Elements, Bobo. I think that's what happened. So that's so.
The odds weren't ever in his favor.
They weren't ever in his favor.
No. Ever.
Oh my word.
Good job, Kennethan.
Playing the system.
I was kind of surprised Ken wasn't here for this, because Star Wars.
He
Star Wars.
decided not to do this one, so he said he would if we needed him, but we had plenty. So
The original Star Wars is his
Oh, I
favorite.
thought you just said he said not to do this one. Like, don't review it.
Don't do it.
No.
Not part
It's
of
a
the canon
trap.
for me.
No.
Search
no.
for feelings, you know it to be true.
No. Stay and help you, I will.
I'm just looking at everyone's
Yoda.
things, and everyone seems a little
Yoda.
delayed. I'm not sure why.
It's because of your frame rate witchcraft.
Fine, I'll change it back. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
It can't keep up. It can't do it.
Oh,
Wait, what's going on?
It
you know what?
can't
It
do
looks like
Kevin.
it changes regardless. It just changed back to 30.
Of course it
There
did.
you go.
Okay,
Because
so
it doesn't like you. The force is not with you.
Mine, or I help you will not.
Or
Paul,
help you,
don't
I
worry,
will.
guys. Paul's not having a stroke. He's just practicing his yoga.
Yes.
So.
Stroke.
God.
Stroke. You rowing crew now?
Whenever you're ready, Paul.
All right, ready?
Yes, here we go.
Stay and help you, I will. Find your friend.
I'm not looking for a friend. I'm looking for a Star Wars podcast.
Oh, podcast. You seek Retro Rewind.
You've heard it?
Subscribe you to it, I will.
And then listen to episode 334 of the Retro Rewind podcast.
So close. Can you just say, then you can listen to episode 334 of the Retro Rewind podcast?
Oh, yeah. And then you can listen to episode 334 of the Retro Rewind podcast.
Retro systems online. Reflux capacitor fluxing. Scanning through the space-time for Star Wars Episode 5. The Empire Strikes Back. 1980. Rewinding in 3, 2, 1.
Edna mode.
Already?
Well, I just
That's
realized
got to be a record.
I didn't ask you guys, hey, were you ready? Thumbs up. You're good to go or anything. I just like, oh, we're just diving in.
It's
So-
just you're
Yeah.
just trying to be like Han trying to launch into into
Into hyperdrive.
hyperdrive, but you can't. You can't because it's busted. Because you're busted. Because you're not caring about other people. Man. You're gonna have to like bang on things, get it to work.
Exactly. So Dustin, Travis, Paul, Ashley, are you all ready to actually start the show? Even though we've kind of started already.
Ready as I'll ever
I'm
be.
glad you asked because I'm not ready. But I'm just kidding. I'm
Oh my
totally
gosh,
ready.
Dustin. Good. Yes, I need thumbs up. Thank you.
Wah, wah.
Oh my God. Oh, you're not ready, Ashley? Thank you. Okay. Let me pray over us real quick.
This is for your failure.
Oh my God.
Your faith in your friends is yours. Wait, wrong movie. Whoops, I'm just getting ahead.
Lord God, thank you for this time tonight to be with friends, to podcast, to enjoy this movie or not enjoy it, but talk about it regardless and enjoy the conversation. Pray it glorifies you. Everyone who listens now or later would be blessed by this, and you would receive all the glory. Pray all this in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Okay, so now we did the introduction. I did the
Yoda. You see Yoda.
Oh my.
Do you want to do it again, Paul, or like do you feel like you're more in?
No.
Mine.
All right, here we go. Back to the show. And I'm sorry you were staying on outside the podcast studio in a lawn chair for hours, Bobo, and you didn't even get the first. It's really sad. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. Welcome, Rewinders and new listeners, to the Retro Rewind podcast, where we take a fresh look at movies and games from 15 or more years ago. I'm your captain of the pod, Francisco Ruiz, and I'm joined by your ex own mine, Paul, the PaulJPowers.com, not a member of the Empire Powers.
Hello, what have we here?
Does Obi-Wan say that in this?
Lando.
Oh,
He's not a system. He's a man.
Lando Calrissian. All right. And also, in addition to Paul, we have back aboard administration officer of the pod to cover Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, Ashley Ruiz. Hey, Ashley.
Aloha.
Oh,
I mean, hola.
oh, that's a deep cut. And we also welcome back aboard clergy officer of the pod, Dustin Warford. Hey, Dustin.
Well, hello there.
Hello there, Dustin. And finally, we are glad to have back aboard engineering officer of the pod, Travis Berg. Hey, Travis.
Hello, hello.
Hello to you. And now that you have a quick flyby of who we all are, Paul, can you give us a quick overview of the production specs for Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back? Not the game, not a series, not I don't know how else you could flub this up. It's the movie Star Wars Episode 5,
Movie. All right.
19.
V, the TV movie.
Not V.
No? Dang it.
Is V a Star Wars miniseries?
Hold on. All right, here we go. I think I got it this time.
Okay.
Spider-Man Strikes
What?
Back was
The
released
jump.
in Europe on May 8th, 1978, but the rest of the world had to wait till almost Christmas time and was released worldwide on December 21st, 1978.
How is that a Star Wars movie?
I thought it was which of the many plethora Star Wars movies are we watching?
Episode 5,
Plethora.
The Empire Strikes Back.
All right.
That could have been brought to my attention yesterday.
I brought you your attention at the beginning of this podcast. What are you talking about?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you when I'm rewinding and rewatching movies here. But let's go for this one. Hopefully this is right. Star Wars V The Empire Strikes Back was released June 18th, 1980, 2 years after Spider-Man Strikes Back.
Oh my gosh.
It runs 2 hours and 4 minutes and is rated PG. It's directed by Irvin Kershner and written by Lee Brackett, Lawrence Kasdan, and George Lucas, with lead stars being Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Billy D. Williams, James Earl Jones, and a bunch of people you may or may not, or you may recognize. And the music was composed by the legendary, brilliant John Williams.
Ooh, all right.
You ready for the box office trivia?
I am ready, though. I'm curious if you're going to do it a little different way, but Ashley, Dustin, Travis, are you all ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Anyone live in chat? Ken, Bobo, anyone else? You're welcome to join as well. Go for it, Paul.
All right. Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back was made for somewhere between $23 and $30 million and earned almost $550 million at the box office. Just didn't quite make that. But given this fact, how high in the box office do you think it ranks among the movies released theatrically in 1980?
Oh,
if you
okay.
said anything but one, you'd be wrong because yes, it came in at number 1 in 1980.
I guess
blew away the
one.
competition.
One. I'm guessing
Yes.
Number one.
Number one.
Yes, by almost $400 million.
one. Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
Like totally blew away the competition. So
awesome.
What was the
instead-
next closest?
the second closest was 9 to 5 at 100 million.
I enjoyed that movie. I'm probably the only one who's seen it.
I have not seen it. That's with Dolly Parton, right?
Yes.
Yes. It's fun.
But we'll do some other box office trivia here with Star Wars. We'll take all the theatrically released Star Wars movies and we'll do them. We'll do the box office trivia, that ranking. And so far, there's been 12 movies released. It's the 9 Skywalker saga, plus you have Rogue One, Solo, and the what is it? The Clone Wars, animated Clone Wars one that came out theatrically.
Gotcha.
So, there's 12 of them. Just going through the box office, what they made at the box office, not counting for inflation. And so remember, these older movies may have made less, but where do you think Empire Strikes Back came in out of 12 amongst the other Star Wars movies? The top 12.
Worldwide or just U.S.?
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
Let's start with Ashley. What's your guess?
I don't know. I want to be optimistic and say 6 because if you think about how heavily the last 3, the sequel trilogy, were promoted by Disney and how much money and just everyone just had to see what was happening because it was like 20 years without Star Wars. Not quite, but I'm just going to say 6.
6?
I mean, honestly, it should probably be lower. Just like, yeah, but 6. 6.
If I believe correctly, I'm just going to help everyone. I believe, I'm just going to, it's on this page. I can't help you, but I believe 7 was the ranking for A New Hope. So don't choose 7. But my memory could be bunk. So
I'm just going to stick with 6 just because I got nothing else to go off of, because I would assume that anything that was released after, like the prequels, they did okay, but I imagine that anything released after that, given people's penchant for over promotion of things and going to the movies and how much movies costs. Yeah, let's go 6.
All right. Dustin, what's your guess?
I think you said A New Hope was 7.
I believe that's what I recall.
I'll go 8 on
8.
this one,
All
then,
right.
right behind it.
How about you, Travis?
I'll go 5.
5. All right.
I'm assuming this is counting though, like the special edition re-releases in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
That's a great question.
Yeah, I don't
think
know.
so.
Maybe.
Oh, you don't think
I don't
so?
think
Okay.
so.
Oh, okay.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think 6 then.
You want to go with 6 also?
I'll agree. I'll agree with 6.
6, middle of the
I don't know if
road.
we're allowed to have the same number
Well,
of 2
we're gonna-
contestants.
we're gonna mutiny
I'll
and
stick
make
with
it
my
okay.
5. My assumptions were bad. I didn't check them with anybody, so stick with 5. Well,
All right. Then we have several people here guessing. Let's see. Who Will Save Generation X guesses 9 and 5, because 9 to 5 rules. I don't get this. What are you talking about? Oh, I see what you're talking about.
What a way to make a living.
No, but he guesses 10. Zabe guesses 10. Bobo
No, he
guesses
guesses 9
3.
is his final answer.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, change to 9. Okay, fine. Jeez. It's hard to keep up. And then Bobo guesses 3. And he's going to be...
Oh, wow.
He's being terribly optimistic, he says.
Rightly so.
And I believe... Yeah, 9 is your final answer. Okay, I am not Regis Philbin. This is not Who Will Save... Wait.
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Yeah, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It's also not Who Will Save Generation X, but I got those conflated. Okay, I think those are... Yeah, that's it. So, and that leaves me... I'm gonna put it at 7. Haha! I looked and now I win. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna do 9 for me. So, Paul, where did it actually end up? Don't say 7, please.
Well, according to the-numbers.com, it came in right where Who Will Save Generation X said it first, number 9.
Oh, so
Sad days.
So I got it right as well. Ha ha ha. But we'll give it to Generation X. But 9, really? Okay. That's surprising.
Sad days.
Sad days indeed. Good job, Zabe. And thank you for those factoids, Paul. And let's see if anyone... Let's see if any of them factor into our memory mind melts or subsequent roundtable discussion, which we'll get into once Alice has located our target film.
Alert. Alert. Target located. Spoilers incoming. Establishing analysis vector.
The new chapter in the continuing Star Wars saga. The Empire Strikes Back. Now, in our galaxy, the Empire strikes back.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't in some other galaxy, and it was in our galaxy, not the Ford galaxy or something like that. But that commercial probably brought back some memories about Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. But let's find out what we collectively remembered about this film before we rewatched it. Let's give you our memory mind meld synopsis for The Empire Strikes Back. The rebellion is on the run and playing an icy game of keep away with the Empire on planet Snowcone, and Luke gets mauled by the abominable snowman, but it's saved by the Force. A scruffy-looking nerf herder, a Force ghost says hello there, and a smelly animal native to the planet that still freezes to death. After learning that tauntauns smell worse on the inside, there is an epic battle between the rebellion and AT&T for a wireless spectrum. The Joker is trained by Miss Piggy, who is too afraid to fight the Empire because Palpatine kicked his green booty. There, Luke kills himself in a confusing dream, but it's not a dream. Meanwhile, in the Lando system, Tim Burton's Harvey Dent is quite the two-face to Han and company until his deal with the Empire gets worse all the time. Han's frozen beauty routine goes terribly wrong. He can't get away from the cold in this movie. Luke believes it's impossible for King Hoffer? Luke believes it's impossible for King Joffrey.
Joffrey Joffer. It's coming to America.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, jeez.
Keep it going.
King Joffrey to be his Jedi daddy and ends up with a hand sliced off just like his old man. Then Luke rescues his friends, except for Indiana Jones. After the victory of A New Hope, the Empire Strikes Back and takes round 2. Wow. Okay. So apparently, mainly because I can't remember Coming to America, I'd say those memories were decepted. But it'll be interesting but based on those memories, as flawed as they were, what rating did they lead you to predict for this film before you rewatched it? Classic, nostalgic, or tragic? Let's begin with our guests as we like to. Ashley, what was your prediction for Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back? Classic? What? I thought you hated this movie.
No, you'd be wrong, sir.
Oh, okay. Dustin, what was your prediction?
I very easily predicted classic for this.
Very easily classic.
Very easily. Not even a doubt in my mind that I thought this would be classic again.
All right.
Good answer.
Maybe. Travis, what was your prediction?
Classic as well, all the way. Yes, no doubts.
The trifecta has it. Equally good answers.
All right, we should just go home, Francisco. We've been outvoted.
Paul, okay, Paul, we've been outvoted for predictions, but so does that mean you predicted nostalgic or tragic?
Yeah, this movie is just the worst that I, took a gamble and predicted classic.
Wait, what? You took a gamble and predicted classic?
Yeah.
It could change.
I know it's a horrible movie, but I just throwing a shot out there.
Sure. So it's gonna land on double zeros. That's eventually. So
right.
Yeah.
Wow. Unlike the everyone else here, I predicted Empire Strikes Back would be a nostalgic movie,
and you predicted wrong.
Well,
that's wisdom. Listen to your wife, dude.
Yeah, you're wrong. But let's continue. And you'll see the error of your ways as we go throughout.
Will I?
Yes, you will.
We shall see.
Or someone will.
The masses will speak.
I will say, I will say, just put my cards on the table. I have not written in my final rating vote. So this conversation will vacillate me one way or the other. So
and if you align with the side of good, you will be right. Otherwise, you're wrong.
Strong in the force.
Remember what Yoda says about anger.
You know what? Angry or not, it'll be interesting to see if those predictions come true. But let's first get into the things we liked most about Star Wars Episode 5. Alice, spin up our
Best bits.
Our best bits, the things we liked most about this film. And I'm going to start things off with Travis this time. What's one thing you liked about this movie?
Yeah, for me, it's something that really jumps out was just the quality of all the set productions spanning the entire film. I mean, the details and Echo Base, the Imperial Walkers, the snow
so good.
Gliders, just everything. Dagobah, right? The whole and Cloud City. It just felt like an immersive world where everything was thought out, not pressured. And you could tell a lot of time and thought had been put in. It felt for me like a very escape, like, oh, I'm actually here. I'm actually fleeing with the rebels to these places or going to this swamp place where there's snakes on everything. And it just really kind of missed that in some of the more modern movies too. But just everywhere you look, little details of it. It was just so immersive and such a capturing way to enter the universe.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everything did. I didn't really think about that, but everything does feel very real and like these could exist. My only quibble, and this is every sci-fi movie really
Ever.
All planets are homogeneous. Like Hoth is all ice and Tatooine is all desert. Have you not seen Planet Earth? There's so many different
and Dagobah is all
climates.
swamp.
Yeah.
Coruscant is all city.
Yeah,
and it's madness.
So I mean, this is
yes.
That's my only issue. Quibble. It's not a Star Wars problem. It's a sci-fi problem. But okay, but I'm curious. Ashley, was the production design, set design something that you really enjoyed, or was there some other element you liked?
I definitely did enjoy it. I remember as we were watching it, just being like, "Oh wow, that was a real snake. That was an iguana.
Yes,
this was this, and this was that," and just really being taken aback by those matte paintings, specifically in the city of Cloud City on the planet Bespin, and thinking that it was just so classically beautiful.
Yeah.
Because the original trilogy has those beautiful, beautiful matte paintings. But no, that actually was not one of my...
Wait, what planet was,
Bespin.
did you say?
Bespin.
Where Cloud
Is
City
that from Spaceballs? Princess Vespin?
Gosh,
no, Bespin. But no, actually, the settings and just how everything was produced was not one of my favorites. I actually really, really, really enjoyed all of these new characters that we were introduced to. Specifically, if you didn't have any entry point into Star Wars before this, if this was where you started, being introduced to characters like Boba Fett, to Lando, to Yoda, to really have all of these introductions to these characters and seeing like, this is our first exposure to them, seeing where this bounty hunter starts. I mean, for me, that's where I never saw the holiday special. I have no regard for Boba Fett outside of these movies, so that was not my introduction to him. So this was my introduction to him. My introduction to Lando and just thinking, oh my gosh, Billy D. Williams is like so cool. And like he's this city administrator and he's got all of this going on and he's like buddies with Han, and Han is one of my favorite characters. So it's like, ooh, he's a smuggler who is trying to do things a little more on the up and up now, and just having a puppet like Yoda, and he's supposed to be this wise sage in the Force. I just thought it was so cool to have all of this variety of characters in the second film, building on the legacy from the first.
Well, I'm gonna go right into my like, because it's goes with with Yoda, and I just felt like you were saying that these characters are so great. I thought Yoda was so well actualized, even though he's a puppet. It's so easy for me to lose that to sort of to suspend disbelief. He seems so like just this little alien creature. It's just it's remarkable. The only thing that I'd say gives him away is that, and I think this is one of those things that you know you're not seeing, even though you can't perceive it, is his pupils never dilate. And I don't think you I guess you could do that nowadays, but that'd probably be so much.
His species, the pupils don't dilate.
Okay, fine, but I doubt that, Paul. But I love that you see
know.
his eyelids move, his eyes move inside the sockets, everything articulates.
The facial expressions.
Yeah, it's just
the movements of the
I'll
ears.
tell you, Yoda. This is my favorite iteration of Yoda.
yeah.
But it is very jarring coming from episode 1, 2, and 3, where it's all digital, and all of a sudden it's Muppet Puppet Yoda, and it takes some getting readjusting to it. But
adjust those expectations.
It is. And once you get into that zone, it's very much more lifelike.
Yes, yeah. Well put, Paul. But that is my first like. Dustin, what was your first like? Was it Yoda? Something else? What really brought you into the movie?
It's along the same lines, but I love. It's funny. I know you just said how one of your sci-fi things is I hate how a planet is all life. I hate how a planet is all clouds.
And I will say, Who Saved Generation X points out that Earth is an outlier in the solar system. Most planets are like that. I don't want to hear your logic. Who Saved Generation X?
It's true though. Look at all of the planets in the outers. They're like all gas giants.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
All these aliens, all these creatures exist on essentially M-class planets, to borrow, I think, a Star Trek term, or maybe that's a science term, where you would think there would be a differences in topology or climate. There's a word for it. It's in Minecraft. What's it called? Biomes. Thank you. Jeez. There'd be a diversity of biomes if there's a diversity of life. So that's what I'm saying.
You didn't even go for the fact that everyone just breathes air on these. You went for something totally different.
There's that too.
It's all good.
C-3PO can speak thousands of languages, but yet everyone speaks English.
He's fluent in over 6 million forms of communication.
It's galactic basic, Paul.
Yeah.
Basic.
It's required by the Empire. Sorry.
But continue, please, Dustin.
Anyway, so what I was gonna say is, I really like how this movie expanded the Star Wars universe into whole new levels by introducing, Dagobah and Bespin and other, not just other aliens, because there was lots of aliens in New Hope in the Cantina, but seeing seeing the world expand far beyond what Lucas started it at with A New Hope was really cool. And I think this just took it to that next level that kept everyone's interest in the series at peak, just an all-time peak.
Absolutely.
And and then from these movies, there've been novels and comic books and cartoons, but I think this movie was the first one to really, really expand on. We're not just on a desert planet and then a Yavin, like a normal kind of area, but now we're all ice. Now we're all swamp. Now we're all clouds. So it really elevated what Lucas started.
Yeah. Made it feel more like there's an actual galaxy out there.
Yeah.
Elevated
with
like
the animals
he's on Yoda's on your back kind of elevated.
Elevated like the X-wing that Luke failed at.
Yeah, and even the fauna too, right? Of just the space worm and the Mylox and the Wampa.
Yes.
Things are like, this is actually a place that exists, and the Empire isn't the only thing that can kill you.
And I've heard people who really love horses and such, and they love riding horses. To me, if I could ride anything, I would love to ride a tauntaun just to try it out.
Yeah.
There's the little sounds that they make. They were just so lively and fun.
Yes. Paul, what was what was one of the fun things for this movie about you that made your like list?
I agree with everything that everybody said so far and mentioned introducing new characters, but also seeing these main characters again on, like, you have Luke, Han, Leia. Chewbacca has these beautiful human blue eyes, unlike these beady black ones in the Disney sequel ones. So
wait, Chewbacca has blue eyes?
Yes. When close-ups, you can see the man behind in the mask. It has life in his eyes.
Yep.
Chewbacca. Oh, by the way, I saw this in, I'll bring it up later, but I saw it in 4K, so maybe there's something to do with that, but I doubt it. But it's great seeing these classic characters again.
And that was just seeing the classic character. Okay. Do you think because you have such a connection with them in New Hope, that's what makes it? Okay. That's what I figured. I just checking.
If this was the beginning, I don't think I would. If this was the first one that came out, I don't think it would be as strong.
Yeah, they would need to establish them a lot better for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, guys, because there's so many of us, we got a full crew. We're just going to go right into our classic makers now. Let's start with Ashley. What's the thing you loved most about Empire Strikes Back?
Oh my gosh. It's a toss-up for me between one character in particular and then a whole set of things that are surrounding this character.
Okay.
So I'm just going to combine them because I don't think I can separate the character from what transpires with them. Honestly, Han Solo is my classic maker in this movie. I absolutely adore Harrison Ford in this film. Just this lovable rogue. He's just trying to prove himself again and again and again and get in the good graces with Leia.
Yes.
And just trying to show off left and right. And all his mishaps, he's comedic gold. He makes me laugh. He makes me smile. And even at the end where he's going down and he's about to go into the carbon freeze and Leia says that she loves him and he's just like, I know. And knowing the story that was ad-libbed because he just felt like that's how Han would say it is just, it's so credible. It's so wonderful. I love the chemistry he has with Carrie Fisher between Han and Leia.
Yeah.
I know some people will be like, well, that's not how romance is, or he's just coming on too strong. It's like, yeah, some people are like that, but I absolutely adore him. I love the evolution of the relationship he has with Leia, and it's just a fun watch. And whenever he's on screen, it's just magnetic for me. I'm just drawn in. Yes. Everything else, like, it's fine and dandy, but I enjoy the scenes where Han is on screen more than any other.
That scoundrel.
Yep. That scruffy looking nerve herder.
Exactly.
My goodness. Scruffy looking.
Yeah, I was about to say there's only one thing to say in response to all that is, I know.
Well, Paul, I don't know what your classic maker is, so why don't you let us all know it?
Well, so far what we've talked about has been
Impressive.
but what is
Most impressive.
Oh my gosh.
to me is, and I'm sure this has got to be somebody else's, is the music by John Williams. It is just so iconic. This of all the Star Wars films, I think this is my favorite. It's because it has most of the classic themes from A New Hope, but it adds several more. It adds Yoda's theme. It adds
Han Solo and the Princess. I love
that
theme.
That love theme. And
isn't the Imperial March in this one too?
I was about to say the most iconic is, and arguably the best, if not the best, Star Wars theme is the Imperial March that just commands and demands to be heard when it comes on. It's like, what did you?
Oh my god!
Well played.
That's different than I remembered.
But iconic nonetheless.
You just need to listen really close, Travis. You'll
Oh my word! So yeah, the soundtrack and that dovetails into mine a bit, Paul. So I'll go with my classic maker next, and I'll say the way it's connected is the one song in this that I love, and I think part of it is because I played the N64 Shadow of the Empire so much. It's this I don't know what the track's name is, but it goes like dun 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 dun. So I'll spare everyone. I know.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys recognize that.
Edna mode.
Yeah, that's the theme
Added
that
in
plays when
post.
Rogue 2 is looking for Han and Luke.
Yep.
That's when it first comes on. But
Thank you, Travis. Now I can hear it.
Yeah. You brought that up.
Great one. I feel like that flies under the radar though of just like a really great piece of the
This has great music all around. Yeah.
You were saying I brought that up while we were watching.
Yeah,
Ashley?
you were like, I love
I
this.
do. I love it so much.
You did. You were like, I love this piece.
Yeah. So, but how it connects is the music. I think I thought that happened during the Hoth battle, but we get it in Hoth. But that Hoth battle is just so exciting and thrilling. I love that the snow spears are going around doing maneuvers like, oh, we can't get through their armor. Oh, let's do this other thing to tie them up. It's just and how Luke is like, battle. Well, I'm gonna take one of these out. My snow spear's gone. I'm still gonna take one out. It's just I feel like my only little quibble is that I feel like the ground troops of the rebellion don't really do anything. They're not hitting those AT-ATs for anything. So I'm a little frustrated that they don't maybe get a lucky shot somewhere. But I really just it's so fun.
No, they do hit it. It just they have the armor. It
Yeah,
doesn't
no, that's what I'm
pierce their
saying.
armor.
It doesn't do anything to the AT-AT walkers.
Well, what are you gonna do? They brought lasers to an AT-AT fight.
Yeah.
I'm
It
just saying they
highlights
should
the plight
have gone.
of the rebels, though, right? Of like they're still there, they're still fighting, even though they know they don't really have this chance. You know,
And
Right.
that's
superior
cool.
technology
I-
of the Empire. Yeah.
Right.
And I do appreciate that about the rebellion. I just wish they had at least one lucky shot or some way of like, oh, we are making a difference. But
Well,
regardless,
they
it's-
are. That's how Luke did it. You know.
Oh, husband, they're just the third string. They're there just in case.
You would think maybe this could go to the dislikes later, but you would think after the one collapsed and they shot it behind the head connector and exploded, that he would have said, "Hey guys, I know where to shoot him now.
Exactly,
Everybody
yes.
shoot here."
They were all running away by that point.
Yeah. They were getting a little too close.
So let's go to Travis next. What is your classic maker? What got really close to your heart?
Ooh, yeah, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I apologize if this is too meta, but I was thinking as well, like what, because this is my favorite Star Wars film, and so
Okay.
what for me separated this from the other ones, and I think I really just came back to this film really focused on the relationships that the characters had, like throughout the whole film.
Wait,
Which-
more than Battle for Endor?
Oh, that was all
the
about
genuine,
relationships.
authentic relationships. There we go. How about that?
Wow.
That is more of a relationship with diabetes, but
Okay.
Wait, what? Anyways, but like, you know, even from the start, Han going out and looking for Luke, you can see that they've built this this connection with each other as they've been fighting since the last
Yeah.
battles. You know, and ultimately that's even the thing that Luke walks away from his training from. Like, well, I have to go save my friends.
Yeah.
I need to go there. I need to do this thing. I can't just be this detached person that lets my friends die so I can, you know, become a better Jedi. So that really stood out to me, and even in the series of the span of the films, and seeing like maybe that compassion and connection that Luke had and these people had was the difference in his Jedi success versus maybe some of the Jedi you know, behavior in the earlier series.
that's
So I just
an excellent point. Yeah,
think-
because
yeah, that just really connected me for it, just to see him growing and the banter and all the small details that really felt like those were like genuine friendships that they had been forming.
yeah,
Yeah, the Jedi aren't
cool.
supposed to have attachments, but aren't they attached to the Jedi? So, like, to that concept?
other than
Right,
that,
yeah.
Paul, I will say I haven't, and maybe Ashley, you haven't read so much of the EU. You might have better insight into this, but it seems like the Jedi that are the most successful are the ones that are more of like in between. They're not like all Jedi or all dark side. They realize you need to walk in tension between those to really get the most out of using the Force or being the best. I don't know. Is that accurate at all, Ashley, from what you've read? Or
Not necessarily.
Dang it.
I mean, generally they want to stick to the lighter side. It's not to say that they acknowledge the dark side and all that it does, but they understand like so much of your life is ruled by your relationships, and you're going to have that attachment, but not to give in to those negative emotions, because the ones that do tend to tap into the darkness, like they fall for a period of time before they have to kind of get rescued from it and come back from it. Because
Don't we all?
even in the Legends expanded universe, like Luke fell to the dark side for a very short period of time. He eventually did come back from it, but really for him it was finding really that balance within the Force. Really, but you can't really balance because the dark side has such a grip and such a hold on people, so it's easier to stay kind of towards the middle, but more to where the light is. You can't
Gotcha.
really delve too much into the darkness.
got it. Thank you, Ashley. And let's go, Dustin. What was the lightest side, most light, most well lit? What was your classic maker, Dustin?
Shed some light.
What made this movie lit was there it is. So I was teetering. I didn't know exactly what to say because I did A New Hope with you guys, and the music on this one also stood out to me so much. And I was like, oh, I talked about the music I think on the last one. I don't know if I'll have to do that again. So I'm glad Paul did that. But the classic maker I think that comes to me is this. For me, I remember as a kid hearing this and discovering it for the first time, and I remember my daughter watching this movie and her experiencing it for the first time. One of the best, biggest plot twists, if you didn't know it was coming, about Vader saying that he was Luke's dad. When he declares, I'm your father, and just that, if you didn't know before watching, I know it's hard to not know that now because that's just the lore of the movie. But seeing it for the first time and seeing that twist, I think that stands out so much about this movie, and it changes everything about what's going to happen, especially since the movie ends on a cliffhanger. Yeah, and you don't know what's going to happen next. He just found out it's his dad. Han's captive. This changes the course of everything Luke's going to be doing moving forward. And I remember watching this with my kids, and Aurora, I think, was 5 or 6 years old the first time she saw it. And she's sitting on the couch, and when he says that, I'm your father, she jumps up and goes, "What?"
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "That's really his dad?" And I said, "Yeah, it is." And she, without missing a beat, goes, "That's the worst dad in the world."
What a huge letdown.
I know. So that for me is one of the best things about this movie that I love. And I also echo what you had said earlier, that this was my favorite Star Wars movie growing up. Absolutely loved it, of the original trilogy. Loved everything about this. So it's interesting to see what we're going to get to the dislikes, because I had to,
because I can
really
tell
try
you,
and
growing
pick
up,
apart.
I was one of those kids that said this is the worst Star Wars movie because it was the most boringest.
That was never me.
I have a comment for that later too.
I feel like I understand you more now, Paul. Like, you as a whole person.
Slow
like
and
that
boring
big
rings
thing.
a bell.
Slow and
Yes,
boring.
exactly.
So
and boring.
The plot twist, Vader's the dad. That's my classic maker.
Dad of the year candidate right there.
Oh my word.
And Mark Hamill's acting in that scene too. Like, his response is just so great.
Yeah.
Like, you
Those
really see
facial expressions.
His gut wrenching no is like, I can't tell you how much better that is than the no Vader gives in episode 3 that they repurpose in episode 6.
Let's not get there.
Yeah,
That's a story for another time.
Yeah, but that Mark Hamill's no is
so good.
So good, yes. But that's all the things we liked, enjoyed about Star Wars Episode 5. But you know what? There's probably some things we didn't like.
You forgot something
I
again.
did. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, I forgot something else I liked that I know we gotta move on, but I gotta mention this, and that would be the Monster Island Film Vault. Hey, kaiju lovers, looking for a podcast that's a fun listen and takes big monsters seriously? Then check out the Monster Island Film Vault, a podcast seeking entertainment and enlightenment through tokusatsu. Host/film curator Nate Marchand and his rotating roster of guest hosts take academic yet fun deep dives into the wide world of giant monster films and TV, discussing their artistic merits, or lack thereof, and their historical and cultural context, giving you a greater appreciation for an underappreciated genre. You'll hear about Godzilla, King Kong, Gamera, and more, while also getting a crash course in toku topics, ranging from history to sociology to science. Along the way, you'll hear audio drama segments chronicling Nate's many misadventures on Monster Island with a colorful cast of characters, like his intrepid producer Jimmy from NASA. So pay a visit to the Monster Island Film Vault at monsterislandfilmvault.com.
Okay, Francisco, Monster Island Film Vault is great and everything, but the deal was that we were going to discuss Empire Strikes Back.
I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
Fine. You have your way.
You know what? Good point, Paul.
But wait. What? Wait. I think I found like the loosest connection. Jimmy from NASA kind of sounds like the Imperial probe droid. So
it is.
So yeah.
Exactly.
There's your the thinnest bridge.
So I really liked
bridge.
that sound effect. So yeah, it's the same.
That
it
is
was
a
an
direct
Imperial
bridge.
Yeah, an Imperial probe droid that got away and then rebranded itself. It wanted to put some distance between itself and the Empire, so it got a new went into witness relocation, and it gave itself a new name, and now it's a producer on a show. It has
Thank you for saving me, Ashley. That's exactly what I meant to say. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, but you know what? Even though it's obviously very much a like of Empire Strikes Back. How about some trivia about this film? Paul, would you enjoy that?
Yeah, about V, the TV series.
Yeah, V the TV series, aka Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, not the 2009. I watched every episode of that show. I loved it.
I did not see the 2009 one. I remember seeing some of the 80s version. But
Oh,
regardless,
the 2009 one was creepy.
trivia about Empire Strikes Back. Did you all realize when shooting on location in Finns, Norway, a fierce snowstorm hit the hotel where the cast and crew were staying? This would have normally halted filming, but director Irvin Kershner thought these weather conditions were an excellent opportunity to film the scene where Luke wanders through the snow after escaping the Wampa Cave. He did this by sending Mark Hamill outside into the cold while he and the cameraman stayed and filmed inside the hotel's front hall. Wow. Way to commit there. Do what I say, not what I do.
I mean, you gotta love your craft. I mean, that's really putting him through the ringer.
Yeah.
They wanted to be authentic.
But you know who was out in the snow with everyone else? John Carpenter in The Thing. Yeah, a real filmmaker. Anyway, with that in mind,
Wampa Cave?
my question to you all is, what is either the worst or strangest thing you have had to do for a job? So let's start with Paul.
Let's the first thing that comes to my mind is I did a temp job. It was a 1-day thing, and they had me come in, and they had a manual, and they wanted it rewritten. And I am a terror. Me and writing don't go well. And by the way, I'm writing a novel right now. It take me a while, but someone else had already written it, and they said, okay, we want you to redo it. And by lunchtime, I had stopped writing because it was ridiculous. It was like so long that I was like, I'm not going to finish this in 1 day. It's a 1-day job. So I took what the other guy previously did, and I just reformatted it in a different, like, easier to read kind of a
Common
thing.
sense.
So I redid it. I did follow instructions like, hey, redo this. So instead of retyping it, I just would anyway.
That's
that
fine.
was probably it was not a good fit.
Oh, okay. Dustin, how about you?
So, being a pastor, and at one point a children's pastor and a youth pastor, there's lots of hats that you wear in the church.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing's really off limits, but I'll probably go with one of the worst things I ever had to do was I would do these, when I was a children's pastor, I would do these quarterly games nights at the church I worked at, Creekside Church in California. And we'd have anywhere between 200 and 300 kids on campus for this one games night,
Nice.
for a year that we did. And it was always incredible amount of fun. But one night we're doing this thing, and one of my volunteers comes up to me and says, hey, Pastor Dustin, there's been something wrong in the bathroom at the church, one of the bathrooms. So I walk by, the door's open, and it's just a single stall restroom, and there is poop just going down the entire side of the toilet onto the floor, smashed on the floor, toilet paper kind of strung around, and then that's it. Some kid, I don't know how they just went down the side of the toilet when they did it, but they left. So I just grabbed some supplies and started cleaning. And
was the toilet overflowing also with poop?
No.
Okay.
It was not clogged.
How they missed the big hole.
I don't know
Missed
how
that
the
mark.
kids sat on there, and I don't know if they were half cheeking the toilet or what they did, but man, they just went down the side. And the thing is, it wasn't just like, poop went on the side. It was smeared down the side of the toilet.
They
So
were trying to be a hovercraft, but they forgot how to hover.
they forgot. They didn't hover
I had
well.
to aim, yeah.
Oh.
And they were like, if stormtroopers use a restroom, that was what it was, because they just missed.
Oh man.
And so yeah, that was probably one of the worst things I ever had to do. And then people asked me, you didn't have someone else do that? I was like, it was in the moment. I'm not above any job here, so I just had to clean it. But it was gnarly.
Let's see. Who will save Generation X said, I had to throw away rotten pumpkins at Pumpkin Patch, and if you ever had to smell and touch molding, foul pumpkins, it will haunt you for the rest of your life. Yeah. Travis, how about you?
Oh yeah, I think the weirdest job I only did this for a quarter in college, but I worked at the donation call center. So I was one of the students that would call you up pretend to like spark this conversation about all your nostalgic times at Oregon State, and then hit you with the ask like, yeah, so how don't you give us a bunch of money so we can build more buildings? I know you spent tens of thousands of dollars on your tuition, but let's write another check. And we're supposed to be pretty pushy, right?
Yeah.
Telemarketers. So that was probably the most unique job, but had some really interesting conversations with people about.
I imagine
about Bigfoot. So
ooh, I'm all ears.
Not all bad. Yeah,
that's awesome. My wife also had that job in Sacramento State.
Oh, really?
She didn't care for it, but she said she was good at it. She got a lot of donations.
Yeah.
Oh my. How about you, Ashley? What's the worst or strangest thing you've had to do on the job?
I have to really think about this for a second. I think when I was a resident assistant in college, I think some of the strangest things that I ever had to do was like beyond like monitoring and like doing patrols of every single floor. We had to like be looking and making sure that everything was running when people would be like, oh my gosh, so-and-so threw up. And we had to like get like caution tape and we had to like rope it off and make sure that people weren't going around it because there really weren't janitors on the weekends. So if something broke down, we had to make sure that it was closed off. So having to do that on a fairly regular basis when someone would like obliterate a bathroom stall or they would throw up in the hallway. We had to like put like sawdust down and do all this kind of stuff. And it was ugh. I think the worst was when someone threw up in one of the like garbage rooms down the hall from where I was living. And it was just so disgusting. Like they just threw up in the garbage can on the floor and just it's like, how do you not have access to your garbage room like all weekend? And there was just garbage in the hallway because people couldn't eat. They wouldn't go in the room because there was vomit everywhere. And it's just like, ugh. It was so gross. I'm glad I didn't like actually have to like clean it per se.
Right.
And even like being a janitor, I didn't really have to deal with all that stuff here and there because I lucked out with the crew that I was working with. But anything having to do with like any kind of like excrement, whether it's coming out the back, the front, anything, awful.
Yeah, indeed.
So now that I'm all grossed out,
I'm terribly sorry about all this. After all, he's only a Wookiee.
Yeah,
with
but
blue
let's
eyes apparently.
Yeah.
Let's have some trivial fun and find out what memories you, our Rad Rewinders, had about Star Wars, V hyphen The Empire Strikes Back.
Let's do it. Baba says, I mean, come on. I'm not even a big Battlestar fan, and even I have to admit, this is the pinnacle of the Star Trek series. Long live Serenity.
Diane Blick says, no, I am your father.
Wardale White says, of the three original movies, it would be this one I would see last. I was 10 when I saw both A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. 17 when I finally saw Empire Strikes Back. I bought all three movies on VHS, but all previously viewed from a local video store. Though not as fun as episode 4 and 6, it was fun meeting Yoda and Lando, and seeing Obi-Wan as a Force ghost. Also fun watching Luke's first encounter with Vader, but a little creepy seeing Han get carbon froze. I don't think I ever want to look like a Nestle Crunch bar. Not good eats. Those are my memories of the movie. Have a good stream. Thank you, Dale.
By the way, talk to Wardell White. He said that he saw first Star Wars, then he read the books of Empire, and then he saw Return of the Jedi. So he had the story in mind in order.
Okay.
But then he later went back. All right. So don't get all like on him about it. But Jeremy Shields says, I read the book before seeing the movie. Oh, just like Wardell White. He says, I saw this one after I'd seen Return of the Jedi, in fact. Well, you did the same as Wardell White. Okay.
James M. Guy Harleman says, the best of all the Star Wars films, period. Best direction, not Lucas. Best cinematography, best acting, and most emotional of the films, including romance. The bar by which all space fantasy films should be judged. Script by Brackett and Kazan was great. Between snow, smoke, sets, etc., it just visually looks like the most interesting and tactile. Not just green screen backdrops. Snow to swamps to asteroid fields to cloud cities, just the most imaginative. fully realized the effect limitations A New Hope it suffered from, and even Jedi doesn't look as good. As a kid, I remember the shock of the cliffhanger ending, so unprecedented in 1980, and having to wait 3 years to find out what happened. Have I ever felt as much prolonged anticipation in the rest of my life? Not sure.
Oh. He should write a book or something.
I think he has 2 or 3.
Wow. Philip Hurd says, it did a great job building on the magic and mythology of the first film with significant steps forward in the overall filmmaking quality.
Tim Strauss says, I remember a lot about this movie, being the Star Wars guy that I am. But let's go with the funny. Why you stuck up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder? Hey, who's scruffy-looking?
And Who Will Save Generation X podcast says, I remember seeing Boba Fett in this movie and being super jealous of the kid on the playground who said he had the Boba Fett action figure that had a spring-loaded rocket launcher that shoots out of his back. That was until I found out later they never made those available to the public, and that kid is a dirty, rotten, 2-bit, no good, stinking liar. Side note, he says he was 45 years old when he learned that fact.
Oh, man. I actually have, might still be around here somewhere, a Boba Fett action figure. It's just, it doesn't have any of the extra things. It's just the core action figure, but it didn't have a rocket launcher thing like that. But
well, a Mandalorian action figure is good to have.
I suppose so. All right. Well, thank you all for sharing your memories.
All right, let's end the episode there. Okay.
And none of them really lead into our dislike section, but it's important. There are probably things we didn't like about this film, and let's get into that discussion. Alice?
Worst woes.
Our worst woes about Empire Strikes Back. Dun, 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 dun.
Can I just add a bonus dislike here? Thank you. A lot of people have mentioned like how this was better, but I actually watched this a 4K restoration of 35 millimeter theatrical print.
Mm-hmm.
And what I noticed is that a lot of the green screen or blue screen effects, there were like hard lines around a lot of them. Not so much in Hoth, but as much as like, well, some in Hoth, but
the
not
asteroid
so
field, I think, is where I noticed it most.
And on the Cloud City, I mean, I just now since then I realized they have, with the special editions and all that, they've cleaned that up.
Uh-huh.
But it kind of reminded me when we reviewed Superman 2 or 3. The special effects of Superman flying wasn't as good as the first Superman.
It was
because
3, I think.
The first Superman, that you didn't see like the lines around him flying, and I felt the same way about the ships in this movie. So
that's why Superman 3 sucked.
What? You could take that back.
No, anyway. Superman 2 is superior. Anyways,
that might be correct. Anyway, so yeah, dislikes.
Yes, dislikes. I was like, what's going on here? Don't mutiny, PaulGPirates.com. Okay.
Oh,
yes.
no, I'm just throwing a bonus in there.
Well,
because so many people said that the effects were better. There were more effects, but I don't know. Comparing apples to apples, to me, it was a bit jarring.
Well, Ashley, what had the worst effect on you about this film?
Oh my gosh.
Not the worst. Second worst. Second to last worst.
The least, the second of the worst thing?
Whatever, you know
Not
what I mean.
The best of the worst? The best of the worst, because there's only the dislike and the... Okay. So, I know everyone has said how much they like Yoda, the puppet master, just how he's all these things. I just don't like how he's introduced. I don't like how silly he is. So he's just like, mine, and he's just being so juvenile. And
ooh, a flashlight, yes.
Yeah, ooh, a flashlight, yes. And he's just saying, Yoda, I take him to you. And it felt, I can see like it's a test. He's testing Luke in some way, but it doesn't make those scenes any less annoying for me. And as a movie that I really thoroughly enjoy, the introduction to Yoda is one of my least favorite parts of the entire film, especially after growing up with the prequels and just seeing what a formidable warrior Yoda was, having his like sage wisdom imparted to all the Jedi Council, and just seeing him just try his best to take on Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith, even though it's like the flippiest, most crazy CGI thing I think I've seen in quite some time. It's just hard to be like, really? This is how we were introduced to this Jedi Master who
that's
survived.
the whole point. It's it's to like trick you.
Juxtapose?
Yeah.
I can appreciate that, but it's still hard for me to watch. And it's just like, okay, can we get to the part where he finally is like, okay, finally I can start teaching Luke. I've had this back and forth conversation with Obi-Wan. Okay, I'm on board now. I'm going to be like, yes, I'm Yoda,
Well,
blah, 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 and then training.
I think Yoda was also testing Luke that way.
That's what she said.
Yeah, and I get it's some kind of test, but again, it's annoying. I feel like it goes on just a little too long. I feel like we could have just shaved a minute or two off and just gotten more into the Jedi training, because I feel like it's just little bits of this montage here and there. And I know Luke jets off to go save his friends, but I appreciate the more serious side of Yoda and how he's relaying this information to Luke, but just how we're introduced to him. It's just like he's this multiple 100-year-old Jedi master who survived this Jedi side. And this is how we're being introduced to him. Like, he belongs on the Muppet Show. I'm sorry, Frank Oz. I can't take this introduction. You might as well be like Kermit the Frog in like some Jedi gear. It's too much for me.
I like it.
Hi ho. Jedi the Frog here.
Jedi the Frog.
At least there's no music, no musical numbers. I guess.
No.
No,
And
I
I
get it.
thank
Easy
goodness
being
for
Groot.
that.
Let's see. Travis, what wasn't very good music to your ears about this movie?
Yeah, there's I think there's just a few like background characters that deliver their lines so poorly. It's pretty frustrating. Like in the scene when they're getting ready to evacuate Echo Base, and there's that pilot. It's like 2 starfighters against a Star Destroyer. Just like it seemed like was that the first time you read your line? Is there any concern? You realize you're saying like I'm gonna get killed doing this? Like it just felt very. And I think there's like 1 or 2 like background Imperial characters.
They
too,
missed
who
the
kind of had
table
that
read,
same-
Travis.
I don't even think
They just flew in that morning to Norway. What do you want?
Yeah, they just showed up exactly. So there's not very many of them, but there's a few background characters. I'm like, you could have practiced just one more time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Done that a lot better.
Totally fair. All right. So some background actors. Dustin, what could have just really receded in the background for you? You didn't like it about this movie.
All right, so like I said, I had to get nitpicky with this because I love this movie. But one thing that I remember,
I have some extras if you want. I've got more bonus ones if you want to borrow.
But something that I didn't like, that it bothers me even when I watch it now, is when they're inside the asteroid worm monster. I don't know what its name is.
How did they fly into the mouth without knowing? Right?
No, not necessarily that. If it was there and they went in the cave, whatever. So it wasn't flying into its mouth that bothered me. What bothered me is when they were leaving and they were like, "That's no cave," and the teeth are closing like, ooh, and then they get out of the mouth and it's like, ah, yeah, just really lunges at him. Like, okay, there's a difference in I'm really closing. Oh no, you're getting it, and then it lunges at him so fast. Like, okay, just the speed change of that was like, okay, is this really a sentient?
Well,
I'm trying to eat this spaceship in my mouth right now. Or
if you sleep like this, mouth open, your muscles are gonna be so tight. You're gonna slowly, and then after you stretch them,
I accept that. Yeah,
I submit to you the Venus flytrap.
I submit to
Who
you.
sleeps with his mouth open and just closes in an instant.
It's a different muscular structure.
I submit to you the theatrics of Tom and Jerry. There's anticipation and then follow through. It's for dramatic.
So yeah, like I said, I think obviously it's dramatic, and it's nitpicky. I love the Lego Star Wars movie take on it when the Lego characters give away the hyperdrive, or Batman steals it.
Oh,
and
God.
then they're like, they'll never need that hyperdrive, right? And then it cuts to them going, choo choo, and the monster goes, wow, and grabs them and pulls them back in. It's a great scene. But yeah, so I know it's nitpicky, but it bothers me.
All right, that's fair.
Rightly so.
Paul. Oh well.
Yo. Okay.
Yeah,
so
go for it, Paul.
You're Darth Vader.
No,
let's say
I'm
I
Francisco
believe you,
Ruiz.
this bad guy who's probably lying about this kid being his son, but let's say I believe him, okay? And then he wants to capture Luke, right? The whole point is for him to trap him there.
Mm-hmm.
And so what does he do? He starts throwing things with the Force and shoots him out a window. I'm like, what are you doing? I thought you were trying to capture him. What?
It's angry Ken Paul. He can't. He just gets consumed with his emotions. He doesn't think.
Them.
Yeah, he
I
can't
have
control it.
him.
I have a bonus one to piggyback off this if you don't say it. Keep going.
No. I take that explanation. It's Angrican. Let's go.
My bonus addition to that is he's trying to capture him. I'm totally with you there. And then Luke falls. What doesn't Vader just go, nope, and pick him up?
Exactly.
Right. You will not fall. I will take you with me now.
Right. I had written that down too, but I was like, well, maybe he's too heavy for him. He hasn't practiced with Yoda to lift objects. I don't know.
Well, guys, what we've learned from the Super Star Wars games is you have a force meter, and it depletes the more force power you use. And he used all his force power to smash Luke with those things.
Yep.
So he had to wait for it to recharge before he. That's why he couldn't grab Luke. Yeah.
Yep. There weren't any things to refill
great
it.
Star
to
Wars
refill that
games on the
meter.
Super Nintendo.
Okay. Well, that
Just out of
explains
reach.
that as well.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness. All right. Well, that leaves me before we get to our tragic makers, and my dislike is I don't understand. If you guys have an explanation for this, great. Why did they use faux slow-mo when Luke is in that Dagobah dream den thing? That's the dark side. I would expect a film of this quality to have authentic slow-mo where you're filming with a high
that's just
speed rate and then play it normally.
So there is a technique that they're going for there, and I agree. It's very jarring, but it's supposed to be jarring like you think there's something off, something's not right here. And if they were to do the where they speed up the camera so that it actually does real slow-mo, it feels more natural. It doesn't feel as jarring, and you're supposed to feel off during that scene.
I would have done more like a Dutch angle, Dutch tilt, where you have the camera sort of at a side to give
like
you
Batman
that feeling
66.
of offness.
Yeah.
But all right.
They just
But
wanted to be
that's to
different.
answer it. I agree. It's not done. It doesn't do it as well. Maybe it is a little too off. But yeah.
Okay.
That's the theory behind it.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, that's fair. I still don't care for it. But
Yeah.
now let's get to the things we really didn't care for, our tragic makers. And I'm not sure why Geek Devotions is bringing up a alligator's bite, but okay.
Because it's the slow in cartoons. It's the slow chomp down.
Oh, that's what we're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go to our tragic makers, the things we hated most about Empire Strikes Back. Travis, what's yours?
And you kind of were hinting at it, but for me, I think it's always been the cave scene.
Uh-huh.
Where he goes in there, just even like the ease at which he goes, like it's cold over there. The dark side's in there. Okay, I'm gonna go check it out. What's going on here? Just met this new renowned Jedi, and then the slow motion. I kind of get you, sure, a visual choice, but it just felt very confusing and kind of for me like breaks the pacing.
Yes.
Of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that was very, it feels like there could have been different ways that they would have done it, like a dream or something like that, that it would have communicated that conflict that Luke was having without it just being like, wait, why is he in this cave?
Yeah.
And there's so many reptiles. I know, I guess maybe they had more reptiles to use that they're like, no, we got the snakes for 3 more days. Let's put them in a cave.
Let's stick some in there. We can use them.
Yeah. But for me, that's the one of the few things I really don't like. About
they only had them for a few days because then they had to ship them over for Raiders. I mean, they just had to get them over there. That's totally fair.
I can go off that since that scene is also my.
Oh my gosh. Okay, go for it, Paul.
So as Ashley said, you're getting to know me a little bit better through this episode, and when my wife and I started dating before we got married, of course. I told her right away, I said, look, subtlety does not work on me. I'm very thick-headed. You have to be like straightforward with me. I don't get hints. So one of the problems that I have with movies is when they use, or at least for me, too much subtlety. I still, to this day, don't understand why there's like a holodeck in Dagobah with where Luke fights Darth Vader, then that turns out to be himself. I get the subtlety of like overcoming your own,
like his own dark side, almost.
If that's what they're going for,
You're your own worst enemy. You can be your own worst enemy.
but I don't understand how that exists. This whole thing is in Dagobah. Like there's just pockets of good and bad dark side that just manifests itself. And is that what I'm supposed to take from this?
Yes,
I guess
that actually is what you're supposed to take. They expand on it in books, and one of the reasons why Yoda actually landed on Dagobah is because there was a lot of the dark side there, and it would be able to mask him sufficiently because of the presence of that cave. It was just something where the dark side manifested.
That sounds like it was made up later to cover it. Anyway,
it was, but
it was made up single file to cover its inconsistencies.
So Yoda says, you don't need your weapons. You only like whatever you bring in there is what'll be there. So if you bring in weapons, you're gonna have a weapon fight. Well, he does. So
he didn't listen.
But then Luke wins that fight, but later Yoda said he fails. I don't get how he fails.
Yeah, I don't know either.
He failed to follow his instructions. He didn't need weapons. It was a test. It's like if you're going in there for a fight, it's like no, he's supposed to confront things in his mind more so than anything. It wasn't supposed to be a physical onslaught. It was supposed to be a battle in his mind.
So he failed before he even began.
Yes, he failed because he didn't listen.
Well, see, that's subtlety that is lost on me.
Happy to help.
Okay.
See, and I went a different direction with it. Just rewatching it now when it shows Luke's face in there, I always thought, not only this could be you going to the dark side, but just the familial connection with this is your family.
Oh, yeah.
I thought maybe it's like, oh, that is me. I traveled back from the past and I'm fighting me. And then as a kid, I'm watching this. Oh, he killed Darth Vader. Okay, cool. Now he's not in the rest. And then he shows up later. It's like,
I thought that too, Paul.
Here.
When I was a kid. It's like, oh, Darth Vader, he defeated him. Wait, why is he still alive? Oh, my. Let's
Apparently
go to...
subtlety was lost on me as a kid, too. So.
Ashley, I don't believe you've given your treasure maker, so let's go ahead with you. What did you dislike most about this film?
Gosh, what did I like What did I like the least? I just didn't. The ending was boring. They're just on. This is
slow
after
and boring.
They're just standing on a ship and they're just looking out into the galaxy. Lando and Chewie have left. Everything is just kind of ho hum, waiting for the next thing to set up. It's just boring.
It's called anticlimactic.
I know. This is after the big reveal. And then it's just like, cool. We don't get an award ceremony. We don't get any exchange. They're just standing on the deck of the ship looking out into the galaxy. Everyone is just hanging in the balance. I like more flash and substance. I don't know.
The movie's not called The Rebels Win Again.
I know. It's a good ending for the middle act where they're being held in the balance that the enemy has the upper hand. But it still doesn't make it any less boring to me.
This goes perfectly into my treasure maker. So I'm going to start.
The title wasn't The Bad Guys Win?
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
It says Strikes Back. And I get it. I get why it is the way that it is. It doesn't mean I have to like it. I like the soundtrack at the end. And I like the focus is mostly on the music instead of the visuals. But they're just standing on the deck, arm around, and they're just standing there. And then it just pans out.
But we learned that smugglers have a uniform because Lando wears the smuggler clothes, so that's good. That's helpful.
Yeah, that wasn't weird. That wasn't weird at all.
Stole back his ship, stole his first mate, stole his outfit. What's next? He's gonna try to steal
Han Solo
Leia
now.
too. I'm Han Solo.
Obviously, he's going after Leia.
He tried to steal Leia. He made that evident as soon as he saw her. He was going for her first.
Yep.
But I'm going to go my tragic maker next because it goes with that. I'm going to start with a silly bit. So this is kind of a bonus, but so I didn't realize the character on Cloud City that has like the almost like
that guy's cool.
You talking about Lobot?
Lobot. His name's Lobot.
His name is Lobot.
Okay. So he has this like metal band. He's part cybernetic. He does what Lando commands him to do or whatever. So the character's fine, but really, we needed him to be played by James Tolkien. Strickland from
was
Back to the Future.
before.
That would have been so much better casting, I feel like.
Yeah,
So
but he wasn't in England at the time.
missed
There was
opportunity
conflict.
regardless.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
But speaking of Cloud City, for me, once we get to Cloud City in this film, this movie just starts to drag really badly. And then I would forgive that, except there's no great, sort of like what you're alluding to, Ashley. There's no great climax in this. And I was thinking, well, maybe the middle movies don't have great climaxes, but I'm thinking of Lord of the Rings, and you have the whole Battle of Helm's Deep, and Theoden and Aragorn going out at the end, trying to get through until the swarm of Uruk-hai. That's great. I was thinking about there's another one that came to mind of a three-parter. Back to the Future 2. You get the whole Marty trying to get the book back from Tan and trying to get around. And it's just, I feel like there's these really good climactic ends that end with some tragedy. You like in Back to the Future 2, you don't know what happened to Doc. Is he dead? I mean, until you get that little bit at the end with that shows you 3. But still, it's in this. There's nothing. I almost wish there was a big battle, or the whole battle for Hoth was at the end, and there was a big loss that happens. Like we lost. I mean, I wouldn't want to lose Chewie or any of the main characters, but maybe a character that we cared about. Through this movie, we lose them. I think that would have been a better climax for this movie. I mean, losing, I guess Han being in Carbonite's good, but
It was a placeholder. They didn't know if he was coming back.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember hearing about that. But
He could have died in the Carbonite.
I just felt like the shooting battle was a bit weak for an ending to a Star Wars film. So
Well, you had Luke versus Darth Vader, and
that wasn't that good. That wasn't that good.
What are you talking about? They actually used the Force by throwing objects, unlike
No. Okay.
Last
Yes, I'm
Jedi.
sorry. You are right. The Force application was pretty good, but
Right.
the
It was a
sword-
much better fight than Obi-Wan versus Vader.
Yeah, it's true.
But yes, that's
31.
true. And I think this might just be my own. I feel like Return of the Jedi does the best sword battles of the original 3. So
Yeah.
I just wish there was more to it, especially when you have and like you were saying, Paul, I think with Yoda coming from a CG Yoda that's is so immersed, so well animated, I guess, or just is so fluid to this like weird puppety Yoda. You have to sort of adjust to it. Well, we have this Anakin in Episode 3 that is just crazy moves all over the place, and now I know his 3 limbs are robotic, but still he can't. He just can barely swing the saber around. It just seems
Steel
it's very
joints,
jarring.
Francisco. They're not as flexible.
Hey,
as
I played Mega Man X. He's very able to like get around and do cool
Advanced
moves.
technology.
So.
Remember, a galaxy far, far away.
Oh yeah, this is a long time ago. That's a good
They
point.
didn't have the technology like they have in 20XX.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And plus his circuits are rusting by now.
Oh, okay.
He's been in this form for like the better part of 15 plus years. He's like,
Right,
he
but-
needs the oil can. Wait, they left it in Oz.
There is also another element to add on to the slow and boring part that what you're talking about is an older structure story.
Oh, okay.
Of where they go from go up and down to keep things interesting.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you go from if you have one scene that ends on a positive note, the next scene should go on the negative, and so try to keep. So what they did is they incorporated that into the trilogy structure, where the first one ends on a positive, the second one ends on a negative, and the third one ends on a positive. It's an older style, that some people really like. And that's just the direction they went for it, much like the style of the slow motion. It's a style they picked and went for,
and I think that's a completely valid style. I'm glad they ended on a sad note. I just wanted more of a climax thrust into the sad note. That's all.
Got it.
So it's just sort of like piddled out in the cloud state. So anyway, that leaves though Dustin. What is your tragic maker? Or just tell me how I'm right. I mean, you could go with that too, Dustin.
You're not.
Yes, I am. Here we go. So, if you listen to the last podcast on A New Hope, we talked about how the pacing of that movie was like perfect.
Yes.
It was just incredibly paced, well thought out. You're never bored. You are all in all the time. Everything is perfect about how they paced that. And then you watch this one. Now, I still love this movie. But when you compare it to what we just
I
came
sense
off
a
of,
treasure coming on.
since you're still the warlord in your mind. But when you compare this to what we just watched and what we just came from, I think they really dropped the ball on how they paced this one.
Yeah.
Luke gets to Dagobah, and for me, none of it's not boring because I'm intrigued the whole time, but I'm very much like, man, the last one had a lot more action, a lot more. All right, this is now happening. Now we have to rush and do this. Now we have to rescue this. Whereas now you're getting more into the lore of the Force and the training and the setup of how the Empire's about to make their big move.
Yeah,
right.
But I think they missed the mark on how they paced this one, especially after what they said.
Well, let me ask you this, Dustin. I think you're 100% right. But if you had to choose between getting the action paced right versus getting the, like, I think it was you or somebody said this is probably the best emotional of Star Wars, the best use of emotions in a Star Wars movie. Would you rather have the emotion or the action pace?
I would say yes.
Okay, cool. Me too.
Yeah, right.
This isn't real life. They can craft it to have both. So,
and that's why this doesn't, to me, make it a bad movie. It's not like I watched it go, oh my gosh, in the words of Paul, this is slow and boring. Like I
feel the hate.
I was never bored, but comparatively, it's a lot slower and teeters that line of like, all right, let's do something. Let's get the move on what's about to happen here, and they do. Then Vader shows up, and there's the whole Bespin fight, but it takes a little bit to get there. After they start off on a strong note. The Battle of Hoth is an incredible, I think, just iconic fight. But between that and then actually having the big fight on Bespin, it's a lot of little itty bitty slow things to get there.
That second act is where the pacing is most off for me.
Geek Devotions brings up a good point. If you were watching this for the first time, do you think you would you notice that it's more slow and boring? Or
I did as a kid. I'll say that. That's very much so.
Too.
Yes, as a kid, I felt that same way.
As a kid, I didn't think it was slow and boring. Like this was my favorite one, and everyone ever said, let's watch a Star Wars movie, this was my go-to every time. Empire Strikes Back. So I clearly was not bored as a kid. Having said that, as a kid, I also thought Temple of Doom was the best Indiana Jones movie, which was, like I said, as a kid, I was way wrong.
No, as a kid, you're way right, because you identify with Short Round. You're in there, you're pulled into the movie, but as an adult, you're wrong.
Right, exactly. So I was never bored as a kid, and I'm still not bored now. But now watching it through a critiquing lens, it's you can see the flaw in the storytelling in this one,
and that's why we're here.
And I will mention, Who Will Save Generation X says, "No, I'm your father." That's the climax, guys. What Vader says to Luke. I think that's the emotional climax.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's not the. I don't know. That's not the cinematic climax, I guess. I don't know.
That's not the action climax.
Yeah, I guess I want an action climax too.
Didn't get one.
This isn't a drama. If this was wholly a drama movie set in space, I think that'd be a great climax. But it's not.
They didn't blow up another Death Star.
No,
they waited till the Force Awakens. No, Return of the Jedi, and then again in Force Awakens. Let's do it 3 times.
Yeah.
For oomph, with gusto.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Dusty, do you think though too with that, like, because they're trying to portray like a month of Luke's training. I wonder if that was like an intentional choice too, of like, we have to slow it down, otherwise it's just going to seem like Luke took a long
Wait,
weekend
he was supposed to be there for a month? I thought he was just there a few days.
Yeah,
1 to 2 months is kind of the.
Really?
I figured he was just like maybe a day or two.
It's hard.
I think maybe 30 minutes, maybe like 3 hours. I don't know.
A really long flight to Bespin, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have hyperdrive. I mean, planets are far away from each other.
And we don't know how far Dagobah was from Bespin. It had a different system. Bespin was like the capital planet, but I don't know, because
George Lucas wasn't thinking about all that when he wrote this. Come on.
But the pacing in that section, that middle act, I definitely agree. It is slow because I feel like they spend just a little bit too much time once they land on the asteroid in addressing the Minox and getting off the ship and then finding out like they're actually inside. a like space worm type dude.
That's cool. I loved that as a kid.
They were in the
enjoy it.
worm for 30 days.
Yes.
And the Empire was just hovering around the asteroid.
Yeah. I mean, going into that sequence when they're navigating the asteroid field, that's exciting because there's the chase scene. But once they finally land, it's like, how long are they actually here? Like, how long is Luke's training? Because they're cutting between the two core casts at that point. Luke on Dagobah and then them on the asteroid. And it's just like, really, how long is this going on? Because I can't gauge it. And it is dragged out for effect. And then we get to the third and it's just like, okay, let's go. We got to wrap this up.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And speaking of wrapping up, we got to wrap up this discussion. Let's get into the thing. Now that we've entered all our firing trajectories into the targeting computer, Alice,
conversation anyway.
do you have a firing solution for us?
Firing solution complete. Rating salvo armed and ready to fire on your mark.
All right. Do we rate Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, a classic? We recommend anyone go see this film, whether or not they've seen it before. I think we're all gonna we would all posit that you should have seen A New Hope first. So that's not gonna be, that shouldn't be a factor into this. I don't think.
Don't watch it in order.
But a classic. Anyone should watch this whether or not they've seen it before. Do we rate a nostalgic? If you've seen it before, awesome. Watch it again. You'll have fun. But if you've never seen it before, you can just pass this one by. Or do we rate it a tragic? It's not worth anyone's time today. If you've never seen it before, keep it that way. And if you have seen it before, don't sully any good memories you have of it with a rewatch. So I know there's no justice for Salvo Authority Geek Devotions. Okay, let's get to Ashley first. You had predicted classic, and all of you had predicted classics except for me.
Shame.
Ashley, what was your final rating for episode 5?
Classic. Classic. That's no surprise. This growing up was my favorite of the original trilogy.
Really? Okay.
It still is in like my top 3. I vacillate between it being 1 or 2, depending on my mood. It's usually tied with Return of the Jedi, and depending on my mood, it'll just vacillate between those 2. But I don't think, like, if you're gonna watch anything Star Wars, you need to watch the original trilogy. It doesn't, like, you can stay away from Disney, you can stay away from the prequels, you can stay away from the sequels, especially. You can stay away from all the Disney Plus content. Just focus on the original cinematic masterpieces. This is one of the best rated and reviewed of the original Star Wars trilogy, if not all of them. It has one of the highest ratings on IMDb, and evidently so, like, it's enjoyable. Some of the pacing is off in that middle act. Yoda is a little too cartoony for me at times, but my gosh, I love it. It's dramatic. I love the relationships. I love the love story. It's sappy. I love it. Classic.
Classic from Ashley.
All I heard her say was, blah, 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 Han Solo classic. Blah, blah,
Yes. Young Ashley had the biggest crush on Harrison Ford.
Oh, yeah,
and I would always tell my mom, he looks the best in this one.
Did you have his poster in your room?
No, the only Star Wars poster I ever had, it was on the back of my bedroom door when I was 13. Actually, no, I was 12. And it was for episode 1. I had it on the back of my door because, like, I was 12, and I thought Qui-Gon Jinn was just the cutest thing ever. I was like, Liam Neeson.
Qui-Gon is cute?
I thought for sure you were going to say it was a picture of Han Solo just saying, I know, because you knew what you were saying.
I mean, I totally need that in my life, but no, I'll just reenact that scene with Francisco, and we'll just, like, encase him in carbonite.
What? Wow. Dustin?
So she can come and rescue you later.
Dustin,
someone who loves you.
Oh.
Dustin, crack open your carbonite and give us your final rating.
I think I'm going to shock everybody here when I say
tragic. Wow, I am shocked. All right, Travis.
So that
when he says it, not when you say it.
I also love Han Solo. Easily classic. Easily a classic movie. This still, I said as a kid it was my favorite. I still am so drawn to this one as just pinnacle Star Wars. You look at everything. I'm not as hardcore as what Ashley just said. Stay away from the sequel. Stay away from this. I love, like, all Star Wars stuff. I watch it all. I really like it all. I'm thoroughly entertained. I'm not the person that nitpicks everything. Like, I can't believe they retcon this and that. I enjoy it. I really do.
You're on the wrong podcast.
But I will say this movie is for me pinnacle Star Wars classic.
Okay.
Chef's
Pinnacle
kiss.
classic.
So, in your opinion, there is not a better Star Wars movie?
I would that in my opinion, yes, this is the best. I love this.
All right. Travis, is this the best for you, or did it fall to the worst?
That's your only option.
Yeah, it
Only
did
a
not
Sith deals
fall
in
to the bottom.
absolutes.
There's 12
Wow.
others, but this is either the best or the worst.
Yeah, compelling arguments were, I don't know, I won't say made, but tried, attempted. But
They were made.
definitely
I made them.
classic. Yeah, absolutely a classic for
Classic
me. I mean,
for Travis.
yeah, it was
all
still
right.
my favorite Star Wars film as well.
Okay.
I think for the first 3 years of my awareness of Star Wars, I thought this was the first one.
Oh, really?
But
Okay.
Still, it was just the best, and yeah, highly rated, and this so often upheld as one of the best sequels, right? That and Godfather 2 of just the movie that other sequel movies are compared to.
Mhm.
So just yeah, absolute classic for me. Would rewatch it. Love to watch it.
Awesome. Well, before we get to me and Paul's rating, we go to our reflex capacitors, the supporters of this show. You can become one at firejoystudios.com. You can subscribe there for free and just get all our content, but you can also support us for $5 a month. And if you do so, you get to contribute to the final rating vote. And together, you all voted this, surprise, surprise, a classic. Yes. So that's 4 classics. Paul, come on, use the force here. Paul, what is your final rating?
we have to balance this out because there must be balance in the force.
Exactly.
And I absolutely think this is it's tragic.
Yeah. Okay. Tragic. Good. I'm putting that
anyone's
down
never
now. You
seen
can't
this
change it.
movie.
You said tragic. That's enough.
Yeah, I think it's tragic if people haven't seen this movie. I think everyone should go out and see this movie. I'm sorry, that defaults to our classic rating then, if I understand the definitions.
That's what it sounds like to me.
I tried to, Francisco, I tried.
You're on the right side of history.
Oh my gosh.
Are you going to side with the Empire on this one, husband?
Yeah, you know what? You guys didn't sway me. I'm still gonna rate this nostalgic. It's just
what?
It's
wow.
You disappoint your wife.
It's good, but I feel like I don't know. It's just I
don't know,
you guys
where
were saying
did
it
your
too. Like the
delusions,
pacing
laser
just
brain?
goes. Did you just call me a laser brain?
That was Princess Leia.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm going to have to give your favorite Star Wars movie a tragic now.
Why?
Just to spite you because you're on the wrong side of history.
Oh my god!
I think someone's sleeping on the couch for a long time.
I'm going to lock you
Don't
out.
worry, your bed will be nice and cold as hot.
I at least gave you the couch. She's taking you to the porch. Sorry, dude.
Wow. I mean,
Go
it's
sleep in the shed.
oh my gosh.
I'd offer you our couch, but you live too far away, and I disagree, and I agree with Ashley as well. So you don't get it.
Well, I know Darth Vader told Boba Fett no disintegrations, but he might make an exception for you, Francisco.
Wow, guys.
I know where you live.
No, why? Okay, Francisco, I'm curious. Why do you rate it nostalgic and not classic? Like, why?
Mainly,
why shouldn't everybody see
it's
it?
for the pacing and the slow and boringness of it. And like I said, I just wish that like Battle for Hoth somehow was at the end, or there was or the asteroid flight was at the end. Just something that was more of an action-packed climax that still ends on a sour note, a sad note. I'm all about that. I think that's a great,
Not a boring note.
You're leaving me on a sour.
Just so everybody knows, he gave this the same rating that he gave the prequels. Just throwing that out there, you know.
All right, so it's falling in line. Okay.
Wow.
Disappoint
And you
me.
said I was on the wrong podcast. Oh.
Are you sure this is the Retro Rewind? No.
Yes, it is.
I mean, but this is before
You're-
Disney
no.
owned Star Wars. How can you do this?
You're right. This is the Retro Rewind podcast. I should be rating this tragic. What am I thinking?
Don't
I
argue
mean-
with him, Ashley. It's a trap.
Oh, it is a trap. It's a trap.
A bad feeling about this.
Yeah, indeed.
But yeah, I'm gonna rate it nostalgic. Did I explain why, Paul? I think you asked me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think it's basically slow and boring.
A lot of it is, yes. I think it peaks with that Hoth sequence, and then it just like goes downhill.
I'm sending you to the lava cave.
Can we on the official ratings not count Francisco so it can say unanimous
No,
classic?
that's not how
Can we
this
just-
works.
You're gonna
No,
lose
because at
credibility.
least
I mean,
He's
thank you.
representing the few.
I want
The
people
few, the proud,
I want people to keep listening
You're
to the podcast.
not a member of the
but when they hear
Marines.
this, they may be out.
Yeah.
They'd vote you out.
Wow.
I have
You'd
to
get
look at my
voted off the
Patreon
island.
status suddenly. What is happening right now?
Blow
Maybe
and
this is when I
snoring,
should have played
Babo?
this
Okay.
clip.
I'm terribly sorry about all this. After all, he's only a Wookiee.
He doesn't know better.
Oh my gosh, I may be hairy, but I'm not Wookiee hairy. All right.
I don't know. They haven't seen your wings.
Oh my gosh, can we not bring that up right now?
Oh, I will.
Too
We
late.
won't let the Wookiee.
So, according to the Retro Rewind podcast, with what is that? 6 classics, 5 classics, and 1 nostalgic, we rate Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, a slightly disputed classic.
Yet
film.
heavily disputed.
We'd recommend anyone go see this, whether or not they've seen it before. But now it's time to get back to our own time. Good old 20XX.
20XX.
ComSat Online. Awaiting incoming transmissions.
I thought we lost Travis over your rating there, Francisco. I thought he
Just about. No,
Maybe
wait a
I
minute.
should leave.
Uh-oh.
Hey, no mutinies here on the crew and no mutinies here in chat. None of that. No.
As
I'll pelt
chief
you with
clergy
cookies.
officer, I'll pray for you.
I'm gonna hide the cookies. No cookies for you.
Oh, come on. No.
I baked them for you. I'm gonna hide them. No more.
It feels good to be back in 20XX, but we wouldn't have been able to travel back to 1980 to begin with if it weren't for our amazing reflux capacitors, who hopefully don't disown me now. Namely, Deborah Powers, Geek Devotions, Drew of the Cellcast, Ashley Reeves. Oh, you're right here. Woohoo! Kennethan, Fabulous Lomax, That's Our Babo, D. Tungsten, Gerald Hafner, Cool Deluxe, Dustin, He's a Big Deal Warford. Oh, you're right here too. Woohoo! Flux, Redeemed Otaku, and newest supporter of Reflux Capacitor of this show, Ryan Frostad. And in addition to all them, 2 other awesome patrons as well. Thank you all so much for keeping the gigawatts coming. And if you want to help us keep flying and get bonus content for your generosity, head over to retrorewindpodcast.com/support to start.
Strong with the Force, this stream is. Sponsored by PaulJPowers.com, it must be.
Yes, we're strong with the Force. Even though Francisco disagrees with us, we're still together.
He clearly doesn't have the force.
Oh my gosh.
And we're very thankful for all our supporters out there who generously donate to us. But
Indeed.
Francisco, are there ways for people to support us besides donations?
Yes, there are, Paul. In fact, of a free a way, I guess I always want to think of freeway or highway, but one way you could support us is, you know what, you probably enjoyed this episode, unless you pieced out at my nostalgic rating, because that's just the worst thing. But no, you probably enjoyed this episode if you made it this far. So if you aren't driving, tap the share.
It'll get worse.
Tap the share icon in your podcast player for this episode and send it to a friend saying, I know you're a fan of Star Wars or Empire Strikes Back, so I thought you might like this podcast on. Or better yet, I know you don't really care for Empire Strikes Back. Here's someone who agrees with you. Listen to them.
Yeah. And I'll bet they'll thank you for it.
I'm sure they will.
And speaking of thanking people, we want to give a big Force hug to Ashley Ruiz, Dustin, He's a Big Deal Warford, and Travis Berg, who's I hear still likes Ewoks, but we'll find out in the next episode maybe. Thank you all for supporting us with your thoughts on Star Wars, V The Empire Strikes Back that Francisco thinks is nostalgic.
Why you gotta add that?
That's the official title now. So thank you all for joining us.
If you have a problem with my rating, send your angry emails to paul@retrorewindpodcast.com.
I'll get you Francisco's email. I'll
No!
even give us his P.O. box.
No!
You can hunt him down. I'll help you.
Wow. But thank you so much. Oh, wait. Dang
Yeah.
it. End of mode. I
No, that
jumped
was
the line.
right. No, that was right.
No, you did. Oh, right. Because you guys aren't promoting anything. That's right. Sorry. I was expecting that in my mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. You just wanted an extra Edna mode. I get it.
Yeah,
we haven't
apparently.
had very many this episode.
Gotta get up to 5 to
We have
stay
a
in
quota.
line.
We have a quota of me here, guys.
Edna mode.
I like Ewoks too, guys. You're doing your part. Princess's punishment for giving this the wrong rating is. It's not the wrong rating. It's just my rating, guys.
It's the wrong one.
It's
You're
the
on the wrong
one.
side.
You will have to watch the Ewok
Absolutely
movie
the wrong one.
5 days in a row. Which Ewok
Caravan
movie?
of Courage or the
Battle for Endor.
No, I'm
Battle-
gonna make you watch like Rise
Oh,
of Skywalker.
and then
I'm gonna make you watch
stream-
that last movie.
the whole, not only the Ewoks cartoon, but all of the droids cartoon. That one, that's punishment.
Why do I need punishment for giving my
Because
honest
you're wrong.
rating?
Because you're
Because
wrong.
then you will see how good Empire really is.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you watch the sequel trilogy like 3 times
Oh.
over, and I'm gonna make you watch Rise of Skywalker like 3 times. That movie is an abomination. You'll be begging to watch The Empire Strikes Back.
Anyway, thank you so much, Ashley, Dustin, and Travis, for being on this episode, for bringing your Force sensitivity to the podcast. And thank you to my awesome friend Paul and all your rewinders, new or old, for another fun voyage. We also want to thank Alutrick for enhancing our music. Find him at alutrick.bandcamp.com or youtube.com/@Alutrick. That's spelled ALLOOUTRICK, then the number 8266 for the YouTube. So thank you so much to him.
Alutrick has a website, and so do I.
Visit pauljpowers.com, you must. Yes?
Yeah, you can find Paul there, and you can find me on our Discord for show announcements or just to say hi. Join us there at retrorewindpodcast.com/Discord.
This podcast is a proud member of Culture Box. Whether you enjoy geeky reviews, comedy, or original fiction, you can open up the Culture Box and find something excellent for your soul. Point your web browser to culturebox.media.
And as Force Ghost Obi-Wan just said, we are now part of the Culture Box Media Network. Find all the shows unpacking truth through story, comedy, and geekery at culturebox.media.
Thank you, EXO, and thank you for listening. We pray you are more joyful today than when you first hit play. But like a Pokemon, we gotta catch you all for Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, our next adventure on the Retro Rewind Podcast.
Yep.
Retro Rewind mission complete. Proceed to base to await next mission.
May the Force be with you.
Okay. It was hard to hear that at the end, Paul, so you might want to
Yeah.
send me the sound so
Yeah.
I can add it.
I'll send you the sound.
Okay. Where is there a scan of the film for this? I don't know.
I think, is it the original trilogy.net? I think it was called Project 4K80 or 84K.
Okay.
Now,
I don't know. But thank you so much. Well, first, Cellcast for the raid. Thank you also to D Tungsten, Geek Devotions, Who Will Save Generation X podcast, Bobo, let's see, Lesty,
Google Project 4K80.
Penguin SCV for being here. Just thank you all so much for hanging out. Hopefully you had fun. And Tony Hawk Fosca. Really? Why are we bringing that back? Why are we bringing these things back, guys? We don't need those. But thank you guys for being here. We're now going to transition to our spiritual speculation, where we're going to talk about the spiritual themes that we saw in Empire Strikes Back, which if you are a Reflex capacitor, you'll get access to that. And yeah, I think that's it, guys. So love you as well. Thank you guys for being here. Shave Generation X. Are they all Ewoks? Yeah, they need to be shaved. Exactly.
Oh, what would that look like? Oh, if you've seen hairless casts, but like hairless Ewoks. Oh, no.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too good.
Thing of nightmares.
But
yeah.
You know what also didn't sound too good? Your rating.
Mr. Biggleworth says no.
Well, until next time, here is your stream face all.